In for the Night is a podcast that discusses movies, random topics, and gives you an excuse to just stay in for the night. I was giving you finger guns and you didn't even see it.
I did see it, but she's been giving me the stink eye all day.
So everybody take like 3 shots because the dogs are annoying.
Don't be mean.
I'll give you a few minutes to take, like,
we'll pause. We'll give y'all 3 seconds.
Dead silence. Did you take 3 shots?
Hope those are quick 3 shots.
Back to back. Ooh, did you, what is that thing called where you have a beer and you shotgun a beer? Mm-hmm. Did you shotgun a beer in those 3 seconds? Can you do that? Well,
it's supposed to be shots. You said shot. Now you're saying shotgun. So which one is it?
Your choice.
Oh, now you're giving them a choice. How you just told them to take 3 shots?
I mean, you can take 3 shots of beer.
That's a lot of beers.
Little baby.
Oh, like I think you're talking about like beer. Shotgun a full beer in 3 seconds. That would be impossible. I mean, 3 full beers in 3 seconds. That's
so
impossible.
1 beer a second.
Yeah, that's impossible.
How about a White Claw?
Someone does that. It's same white. No, that's even no. Hello.
Hi.
Hola.
I'm sleepy.
You and me both. It's been so I transferred finally.
Woo! So I'm alone a lot, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm working day shift, so it was like 6:30 to 3. And day shift and I just do not get along.
As he yawns.
Yeah.
But my name is Katie. What's yours?
G-Dawgarino.
I'm not spelling that, dude.
Bam.
I try to update your name every time we have a new episode, and I just switch back between G-Dog and Lur. I'm not trying to spell G-Dawgarino.
That's easy. G-Dawgarino. R-E-N-O. after dog, obviously.
Is dog spelled like D-O-G or D-A-W-G?
D-A-W-G. Come on now. It's not D-O-G.
So D-A-W-G.
R-E-N-O.
Dawgarino. Not
Dawgarino.
So Reno's
put an A in between. There you go. We just spelled it. Bam.
Welcome to your
Dawgarino
spelling lesson today, guys. Not only do you learn geography in this lesson, but you also learn how to spell incorrectly.
Yeah. Incorrectly. Aren't we on our shit?
We're not.
Oh, well, I was trying to be optimistic. Thanks for ruining that. You pessimist.
Pessimist?
Pessimist.
So I'm a pest.
Yeah.
It's a pessimist.
Pessimist.
It's like when that lady said ambulam. And
like when you said manager special.
That's not, I said it perfectly fine. I just had a moment.
Had a moment? A very weak moment. And that's been your only one, so congrats.
You have many, multiple times a day.
Well, that's the whole point of me, keeping you on your toes,
Right. So I'm going to be on a soapbox for a second.
Uh-oh, here we go.
My sister rescues dogs. She goes on walks and then she'll randomly find dogs on the side of the road. And now she found 5 more puppies.
This has been an every month or every other week thing that she finds animals stranded.
Just abandoned puppies, babies.
Puppies.
That's how we got Arrow. He's a reject.
He was one of the ones that she had found, left out, and 8 other his brothers and sisters, and we took him in. And now she found, and she's been posting them. She finds them every single
She
other
had
week.
4 originally. She named them all, and then she found 5 today. So she's 9 foster animals plus her 2 own. So she has 11 dogs in her house right now.
That is insane.
That's a lot of animals. I have problems with these 3 dogs.
Yeah, because you don't like dogs, but your sister obviously likes dogs. So
yeah. She has, I would rescue the dogs, but I just would not be happy.
You're never happy.
Anyway, Don't be a shitty person. If you, just bring them to the pound or something, be like, yo, drop them off. Nobody cares. They're not
just get your animals neutered.
Or do that. Stop.
Instead of letting them,
There are programs. There are literal programs where you do not have to pay for them to get spayed or neutered. If you are in, a certain zip code or something, that's how I got, I think, Gordon neutered. Spayed? Neutered? I don't know. I can never remember which one's which.
No, spayed.
Spayed for a boy? That's girl.
Neutered.
You're
welcome, people.
We sound stupid. I sound stupid. Let's correct that.
No, I sound stupid.
So, take a shot. Lala's here. So, I got them neutered, and I put my zip code down, and I lived in a poor section of town, so they're like, oh, it's free. But I already paid online, so I was like, fuck it, just donate it.
Sucks.
And so after I donated like that $40, I consistently get like San Antonio like Humane Society.
Wait, it was only $40 to get them neutered?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. And
we paid like
150 or something.
200 total. Well, I think there was other stuff. Like I think he got shots and shit too, and I had added some things on there because he was getting under, so I added like an ear cleaning and some other stuff. But anyway, I think it was like 200 or something like that, almost 3.
That's really expensive, and these dogs are expensive. Like Fifi got her shots. She's all better now, so she's not limping anymore, and she has a clean bill of health.
Yeah, they basically, I guess, lasered out the liquid that was in her knee or something like that. You said?
No, I have no idea.
You told me what.
It was like a red. He said red laser, and it's supposed to like be like ultrasound to make it feel better, but it doesn't laser the liquid out. It just makes it feel better. I don't understand how it works, but they did that to her, and so she got like a fancy spa day. Or is it a paw day?
Paw day.
But anyway, so
lot of
don't abandon your dogs.
Rescued animals that need to be rescued out there. So I wouldn't say I don't like a person or hate a person that pays ridiculous amount of money to buy dogs. I mean,
there are
to
so
each
many...
their own, but there's so many dogs that need to be rescued out there. Well, animals in general, cats, dogs. Mainly cats.
So if you ever are wanting a pet, go to your local humane society. They have a lot of animals that have a lot of love. Yeah. I saw this article about this one dog who was in the pound for 720 days. And it's a happy puppy, but it has to be by himself. Like, he doesn't do well with other animals, which is totally fine. That doesn't mean he's going to attack anybody. Mm-hmm. But anyway, just give a puppy a chance.
Yeah, I don't know how I started end up seeing a bunch of these posts on Instagram, but it's like a bunch of animals that they find stranded. They're like super skinny, and they take them in and get them cleaned up and feed them, and then they end up fostering them. And it's like, no matter, like, these dogs are like abandoned or abused or beaten or whatever the case is. Like, a lot of them, they were like, had chunks missing out of them, and they were just the happiest dogs. They were just so sweet. They were like playful. I mean, once they got used to being around a human again or trusting again, like, they would be playful. They would like want to like start wagging their tail again. They just wanted loves. It's crazy how dogs can be not forgetful, but forgiving. Yeah, it's really insane how they can be forgiving.
Even Lala. I mean, Lala's a scared puppy still. She doesn't like loud noises or anything, but she's happy, and she's the gentlest dog in existence.
She is. And now she's next to mom wanting pets. So take a shot again.
Jesus, you guys are going to be wasted.
Yeah, they're going to be hammered only 8 minutes in. So.
Jeez.
But yeah, that's our sad part of the show.
So adopt.
Adopt, please, people. That's our point we're trying to get across. There's so many sweet dogs that are in the pound that just need to be rescued or even foster.
Foster them and see if you like the dog, because you can test them out, like testing out a car kind of thing. Just bring them home. Yeah. Test them out for, I think that they give you 72 hours to hang out with them and see if it's a right fit. And if it's not a right fit, then you bring it back and just try a different dog. Maybe something else will work for you.
Fostering helps too. We would foster ourselves, but we have too many animals and we have cats. And if we did have cats, then I would probably still try to foster and just see how the dog would acclimate with them. And I'm sure there would be one that would get along with them, because they get along with dogs very well. But it's the cats parts that I just don't want to bring another foster dog in here.
I'm a cat person, so we're going to have cats, so get over it.
We have cats.
I know.
Oh, you're saying, I'm not saying get rid of the cats. But anywho.
Gordon would be devastated.
What?
If we got rid of him.
No, he wouldn't. He probably wouldn't care.
He would care. He's my baby.
So I don't think they would care. Like, I saw one of his dog was like abandoned. Like the owner dropped them off at the pound, and the dog was just like waiting by the door, sad.
That hurts.
Expecting them to come back, and they never did. And it was like, dogs have feelings too. I don't know if they would be like that. If we just like left them somewhere and just never came back.
Whenever we bring them to our dog sitter, they're just like, bye.
Yeah, and like, run bye outside. Bitches. And then we come back, they're super excited, but it's like they don't seem like they're sad at all.
We take good care of them.
Just like when I was gone for a week, they didn't seem like they were sad.
No, but they tormented me. And you know what? They shit inside, No, Arrow shit inside. Fifi barfed everywhere. And then one of them, which I think was Arrow, tore up my shoe. My favorite slippers. Mm-hmm. So they weren't sad. They were pissed off. And they're taking it out on me because I was the one that...
That might be true.
And then Lala's like, I have no idea what the fuck is happening.
And she's over here just wanting... I've been giving you love all day. Anywho.
Okay.
How was your week? Great. All right. Fantastic.
It's like I worked out. I have my angiogram on Tuesday, which has been set up. And so I'm scared. Mm-hmm. I hope I don't have to stay in the hospital. Hospital.
Well, we'll see.
I hope not, because I don't want to stay. I really don't, because then what am I going to do? I'm going to be sitting there, and I'm going to be sad.
Reading your book on your phone like you always do.
Maybe.
Exactly.
Okay. But that's it. That's my week. Yep. I didn't do much. We're looking into buying a house in Dallas soon, so hopefully we can get that started and squared away. And I fell in love with the house, and of course, a day later, it's gone.
Yep. That's what happens.
It had a literal atrium in the middle of the fucking house.
I told you we should have tried at least. Told Susie, hey. Oh, sorry.
There's a million Susies out there.
True. If you're listening to this, to like freaking see the options.
Probably would love the publicity so that she can build her client base. So I don't really think she would care.
Maybe not.
She wants us to give her references, be a referral.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you are looking for a realtor in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, let us know, and we will hook you up with the best realtor ever named Susie. We won't give her last name because I can't remember.
I can, but I'm not going to give it out. But anywho, yeah, so let's rock it out with our, cock-a-doodle-doos out.
All right. I'm slowly bringing it over. Do not make that sound. You can hear it. I hate you.
I know.
Okay, so...
I was like, what are you doing?
I was pretending to read it, but you didn't even pay attention, so it doesn't even matter.
I was paying attention. Supernatural.
Oh, also, sorry, folks. I think in the last episode when we were quoting this one, we said daybreak. It's actually Dayshift. Mm-hmm. I fixed the name on it on the episode guide thing, but we apologize. I'm not going to go fix it.
If y'all were looking for it, I kept saying Daybreak for some reason, because I think there's another movie called Daybreak.
There's a TV show called Daybreakers where it's a zombie apocalypse with adults and the kids are in the mall. Oh, it's a really good TV show, but that's not what we're watching.
Yeah, so it's Dayshift. My apologize on Netflix, but
you had one job.
I did, and I fucked it up.
You did.
So let's see. Dayshift 2022, almost 2 hours, but it was definitely I like the 2 hours. So we have a 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb. I know, right? Fucking haters. 57% on Rotten Potatoes.
Are you serious?
And 51% on Metacritic.
Wow.
So damn near all the same on those three.
What about Google?
But 80% on Google.
I don't know.
It's always that. If IMDb and the rest of them are low, Google's high. If those are high, Google's low. It's
So I think what it has to do with the generations who are grading it, because Rotten Potatoes, I think, is an older generation. Mm-hmm. And so they have different tastes, whereas the younger generation, which is Google users, they are...
And plus, they probably like vampires.
Everybody does.
Well, obviously not those... The IMDb.
My mom's afraid of vampires. She told me, don't bring up vampires. I don't want to watch about vampires. I can't about vampires. They give me nightmares. And I'm like, okay.
Well, your daughter wants to be one, so.
I wouldn't tell her.
And same.
I'd be like Seth.
Yeah. So we have synopsis.
Penis, peni.
A hardworking dad out to provide for his daughter uses a boring pool cleaning job as a front for his real gig, hunting and killing vampires. Initial release, August 12, 2022. Director J.J. Perry. Cinematography, Toby Oliver. And blah, blah, blah. So we got Jamie Foxx as Bud Jablonski. Megan Good as Jocelyn Jablonski. Then we got Carla Souza as Audrey. Dave Franco as Seth. Snoop Dogg as Big John Elliott. Natasha Lou Bardizzo as Heather. And then Steve Howie, if y'all know him, if y'all recognize that name, he is from Shameless. Yeah. The guy dating a like younger black chick. And he was Mike Nazarena. Whatever. But yeah, I just going to start out. I fucking love this movie. I just like vampire movies. From the very beginning, it was just like action. Bam. So I enjoyed it. So I hope y'all did too.
Moving on to the topic.
Yeah.
Where's your score?
Yep. Score is a 20.
All right. Now let's get into it. So first we are getting into the movie. The dogs are sitting on Ty's lap and it's going, and the song I don't know the tune of it. California. It has weird vibey song that it says California in it. I don't know the name of it. It's probably called California.
Probably.
It's not Hotel California, but it's like California. Anyway. Yeah. And on the bottom of the screen, I think it said like Los Angeles or the Valley, California, or Los Angeles, California, because it's near Hollywood. And Ty looks at the TV and he's like, "Are we in California?" And I'm like,
I didn't see all that.
Because you were distracted by the animals.
Yeah, because I was trying to get them to freaking sit down.
So that just made me laugh because I'm sitting here and I
just saw the palm trees and I was like, this must be either California or it's Florida. And I was like, it doesn't look like Florida, so it has to be California. And I was right without even seeing it. Look at me. I know my geographicals.
No, you don't. Let's be real. Let's be honest.
15. Hey, I got California out of one of them. That was one of my 15. Did you? Yes. Obviously, I would get California. California, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana. I got those.
I told you, what was it, the last episode where they were saying obviously is a dick.
Rude.
Yeah, really super rude.
Obviously. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's rude too.
Well, duh.
That's rude too.
Okay, so we have an old-ass truck in Cali. That's what I put as the top thing. And I was like, okay, usually you see fancy cars, but obviously we have to have...
Well, apparently he's broke in this. So.
Broke as a joke. But it is very smart of him to have an older truck because it's not made out of plexiglass.
Yeah.
So...
It can handle its own.
It did. He had 0 bullet holes in that whole vehicle.
It would definitely get bullet holes in it.
It deflected it. I swear to God, he sprayed something on that to make it... bulletproof. Wait, is that something? Can you spray something on your vehicle to make it bulletproof?
I don't think so. This is in the movies.
It should be. So when we enter, he is cleaning out a pool and pulls out a rodent of some sort. I think it's a weasel.
It was a possum.
It was not a possum.
Yeah.
It was a weasel.
No, it's not that's the one that looks like the rats. But right. They're bigger.
Possums are the ratty.
It's not a weasel, but they have a name to it. I saw them all the time in South Texas. It was like a big rat.
Mongoose.
No.
Anyway.
Okay, I got to look it up while you're talking.
So what I found was really cool is as soon as somebody leaves or something, he grabs his toolbox and then he pushes like a couple buttons on the side and he pulls out a hidden compartment on the box, and that's where all his weapons are, because he can't just walk around California, including California, who hates guns, who, if you talk about guns, they get real uncomfortable. Sorry, I was talking about how we were going to get Ty an AK-47 or something, and the people got really upset. So I apologize if you were one of those people, but we got guns.
This one here. They have a picture of it, but they don't have the name.
Show me. That's a possum.
It was that thing, though.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, this was not a main part of it. It was a weasel. It was a ferret. It was a ferret.
It's not a ferret. Hold on. There should be a picture of here. A shoe. Yeah, opossum.
A possum.
That's what I said, right?
O is silent.
Opossum. There was that scary looking fucking thing.
Sure. I don't think it was a possum. Anyway, so this is when he breaks into a house and he's looking around and this little old lady's like, "What are you doing in my house?" You know what? That old ass lady is a badass bitch because she is agile as fuck.
I like how a lot of these vampires in this movie, they were able to like bend like contortionists. men and women.
Both. And they all instantly learned karate.
Yeah. Like they were beasts.
They really... I like how you're emphasizing every single syllable of every single word that's bigger than one syllable.
Bigger.
So he has a little tool he's brought a few times into this movie, and he attaches it to a wall or an entryway, and it's really like a clothesline, except it chops off people's fucking heads.
Yeah, it's a thin, very thin, fine silver wire, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said?
It was silver wire, and so if they run at you and they don't really see it, they're going to get their heads chopped off.
Chop.
That's badass. So
it is.
So he shot the old woman. She came back. She's agile as fuck. What's really cool is during this fight, we look through a mirror and you can't see her. Her clothes are just moving.
Her clothes are just moving.
Her.
She's kicking Jamie Foxx's ass. It's pretty fucking cool.
And so this tiny little old lady is just beating the shit out of Jamie Foxx, whose name is Bud. And so at the end, he takes her tooth out. And then this other younger vampire runs at him, and he gets
in the hallway and gets his head chopped off
by his like little tool.
Because apparently in this movie, if you chop off the head, they can still survive. So he has to shoot him in the heart too, or because his bullets that he had wood in them. He'll shoot him in the heart, or he'll stake him, obviously. So
yeah. So, but I liked about this movie is that when there's not just one type of vampire, there's different types. And I feel that is actually very possible.
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas, there's just uber ones where you can cut off their head and they can put it back together. And there's the juvenile ones and the zombie ones. And
the uber ones. Oh, yeah, uber, you said.
And then south and eastern ones. And so that kind of just really... I don't know the word for it. I don't want to say emanates. That doesn't sound right. But anyway, that stuck with me because I'm thinking it's different cultures. So different vampires. Different cultures, and that's how they decipher them. But they all have different fangs, which was really cool, too. Mm-hmm. So he took the fangs of both of those vampires and he brought it to this pawn shop where he trades them in. So I don't know why this was started.
What?
Bringing fangs in to get money for them. How they're so valuable. I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's true. I don't understand that either.
So that's the only part I had questions about.
I guess it's just, I guess it's kind of like, because people wear them as jewelry, I think. Because, like, he had one around his neck.
Well, he could have just done it because people wear shark teeth, and those are not worth shit.
Yeah, it's a fucking shark. These are vampires. It's a little different.
Sharks have a lot of teeth, and they eat people.
Yeah, but the vampires, apparently from what they said, if you take their teeth out, they can't, like, live. They die.
I don't think sharks can regenerate their teeth either.
Yeah, they can.
Oh, I don't know shit about fucking sharks.
They can.
I did not watch Shark Week.
I did.
So then we kind of break away from Bud, and we go to this lady who has an umbrella, and she's talking to a guy who's laying beneath...
like a great handcuff with sunlight on him.
And so they're going to bury him in cement. So he's going to live in the cement... until they dig him up.
100 years, she said.
And then we're going to dig you up and show you what happened.
But now they're going to forget about him. Well, never mind. I can't say that yet.
And so... poor guy.
Yeah.
So this is something that I put on the side. So burying somebody, that's the ultimate way to hide a body. Because once a building's built, they're not going to take down the entire building just to...
And then go into the foundation.
Right. They're not going to do it. So if you have the opportunity and you need to hide a body... Not that I'm telling you how to do shit, but if you need to hide a body, that's probably...
to build something.
Yeah, I'm not saying you could have it or go hide it at a company and just kind of cover it up with shit, and then...
There was some movie we were watching that they were doing that. Like, I think the guy was looking for his daughter or wife, and they were, like, basically putting up a bunch of properties, and they had people, like, at the bottom of these big-ass ditches that they were filling with freaking cement.
Oh, Poltergeist.
I don't think it was Poltergeist. Maybe. I don't know.
Because that was the one where like the chair kept on moving.
And they were bare. I don't think it was a Poltergeist movie, but it's crazy. It's coming up again. Maybe it's meant to be.
In Grey's Anatomy, at one of the hospitals, they were digging and they found a burial ground.
That's scary. At the hospital?
Well, I mean, they were digging out to build a new building for, like, it was a research center or something, and they found a burial ground there.
I don't think they should
build on that.
I don't think they should. There we go. Now it's louder.
Yeah, and you keep on scratching your head and turning away. Talk into the mic. I'm just helping you out, bro. Don't stick out your baby tongue at me. So then they buried the body, and so we learned that the lady's name is Audrey. I guess super vampire name, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Well, she's not going to have some, like, freaking, I don't know, scary vampire name.
On, like, Queen of the Damned, the aunt to the main character, the lady, the girl, her name was Maharet, and I found that the most vampire name ever.
Yeah, but then that's obvious. They probably had that. Maybe she had, like, a vampire name because she's obviously an elder. So, like, but to be in the New Times 2022 in the movie and then also be a realtor, she can't have Maharet. Whatever. She has to have something normal like Audrey or Katie or Heather.
Boring names.
Or Jasmine.
I can show you the world.
Or stripper names like
Crystal.
Chocolate.
Drizzle.
Chocolate Drizzle.
That's so
it's
gross.
Like twins, Chocolate Drizzle.
If your name is Drizzle, that just makes me feel like you have some sort of STD.
They might. They 100% might.
Chocolate Drizzle.
Chocolate Drizzle.
Okay, as I gag and kill myself. So then we meet Bud's ex-wife. Her name is Jocelyn.
Megan Good.
He said Megan Fox, and I was looking at her, and
Megan Fox, Megan Good.
That was not Megan Fox. I was sorry. Where's Machine Gun Kelly? No.
No, I don't think they're together anymore. Apparently, he cheated on her.
Obviously, he's...
At least last I saw pop up on whatever news feed I was on.
I don't know. People, just be happy, but don't cheat on your significant other just because you can. It doesn't mean you should. So he drops off his daughter. Daughter's super happy, loves her dad, but the wife is trying to fix up the house.
You say wife, they're his ex-wife.
Ex-wife, wife, same thing.
No, clearly it's not.
Oh, okay. Why are you licking my shoe? Do not eat my shoe. Oh my God. Why are you so needy, Fifi? Take another shot, people. Anyway, so we meet his ex-wife, and she is fixing up the house because she's planning on selling it and possibly moving to Florida. And then this is where the plot kind of comes to fruition. Because now Bud is against the clock. He has a week to come up with like $10,000. 10K. Or else she's going to be moving because they have to pay the tuition for their school as well as get the girl braces,
and then get braces, which she got the doctor down of $4,800,
something like that. Yeah, and so, but I'm sitting here. Braces aren't a life or death situation. That's like down the road.
Yeah, like
maybe
the school is a main thing.
School's a main thing. I don't understand why. Oh my God, she has to have braces. I mean, my teeth were crooked as fuck, and I didn't get braces. I got Invisalign last year.
Well, I think that was just Megan Good being pissed off because, for one, Bud's been lying to her for however long, and plus she's an ex-wife, so she was just being mean to him.
Yeah. So, yeah. So then we have a question that you asked. And I told you this is a good conversation on the podcast instead of talking to me about it during the movie.
I can talk to you about it during the movie if I damn well please, ma'am.
You get sassy.
I'm Sassarooney.
Okay.
Ooh, that's my new name next time. Sassaroonie. Sassarino. I like that one better.
Do vampires get burned with sunlight? Any sunlight or direct? It has to be direct.
I think it has to be direct.
I think so too, because the kids that were playing those video games in the Hive House.
But I don't know if they were vampires though.
They were all vampires.
Because they never turned.
They're babies.
I think they were their minions, vampire minions.
Well, those kids got shot the fuck up.
Yeah, they did. Well, he told them not to do it, so.
Yeah.
He's like, don't do it. All right.
He did it. So yeah, I think it has to be direct in this movie specifically. I feel that Edward Cullen, he just glitters.
He does glitter.
So,
yeah, they don't burn. Maybe it's because their skin is made out of like some type of glass.
Diamonds.
Because like even when they like killed in that movie when they killed another vampire, it sounded like glass breaking, and then it would turn into like stone. It looked like.
Yeah.
So I think they're I think that's why they can walk in the daylight, which is pretty fucking cool.
So would you rather be these type of vampires or Edward Cullen-y?
I think I'd rather be Edward Cullen-y vampire because you can walk in the daylight without having any sunscreen, a ring. Because in Vampire Diaries, that they have it's like a sun walking ring or some shit. Like it's a blessed, I guess you can say.
Is it blessed by a rabbi?
Probably.
So it's kosher.
Kosher? What is that?
Nothing. Okay.
Are you trying to do a joke?
Yes, and you suck because you don't know stuff. So we were at a store, we were at a barbecue place, and I was filling out the receipt, and this lady came up and she was kind of bitching at the waitstaff about, I had to wait 25 minutes for a beer. Okay. And she was like, it was not even 5 minutes when it was on my register. And I'm like, calm down. And so I wrote on the receipt, you're awesome sauce, because at a barbecue place they have a lot of sauces, and he didn't get it, and that made me sad.
I did not.
I thought it was funny.
Well, babe, sometimes you're hilarious, but sometimes not.
Okay, so this is when Bud brings the teeth to the pawn shop, and he's trying to get as much money as he can, but it's not as much as he thought it was going to be. He thought it was an elder, but it wasn't an elder. She was old, yes, but she wasn't quite an elder yet. And so he was only going to get, what is it, like $2,000 for her.
$800.
$800 for the young guy, $2,000 for the old lady.
Oh, yeah.
And so he was like, that's not enough. It's supposed to be like more. And so it didn't pan out. So he sold his gun that he loved called Snake Eyes. And then he sold the younger vamp's teeth.
And he sold his shoes.
And I think he got like $1,500 or something. And so this is when we go to the Union.
Yeah, this is when we meet Snoop Dogg.
But first, we get cut to Audrey, and she's going to the old lady's house that Bud killed earlier. And she's dead. So Audrey...
Dead.
...is my precious. And...
Okay, Smeagol.
That's what she said, my precious.
Well, she didn't say it like that.
Yes,
she said
did.
In Spanish, first of all, because it came out with the subtitle at the bottom.
But the way the subtitles were was like red and blood, and it kind of wiped
cool.
on. It was pretty badass on that part. So now they smell. This is during the fight. Bud got stabbed by glass and he pulled it out, and so
and he left it there. Like
he left it there, and so now they have his scent, and so now they're looking for him. So these badass vampires are looking for Bud.
The elder vampires.
Yeah. So this is when Bud is trying to join the Union again, and so he enlists his good friend, Big John.
Big John, a.k.a. Snoop Dogg.
Which Snoop Dogg does not look bad in cowboy attire.
He doesn't.
He looks
but I like
decent.
how he still has his pimp walk.
Yeah, he's like walking away.
He's like walking all cool in this full-on cowboy dress up.
As he starts rapping about killing vampires.
He does not. He does not.
He should have, though. He should have made a song.
No, because that's fucking cheesy. No.
Eminem did for fucking Venom. Snoop Dogg could have made a song for fucking this Dayshift.
Yeah, he could have made like an outro or intro song, yeah.
That would have been cool.
You were talking about
like as
in the movie rapping. I was like, no, because that's a fucking musical, and I hate musicals.
No, I'm just saying like an outro song while the credits are playing. They did play his song, but it's not one he made, which is stupid. So Snoop Dogg is... what I put here, holy denim. Because in the TV show, he's wearing a long sleeve denim shirt, and then over that is over denim shirt, and then he has a vest on
with
fringe
jeans.
Yeah, and denim jeans, and I was like, damn, holy denim, Batman. And so they talk to the guy who is named Seeger, who is the head of the Union, and Seeger is against Bud from getting back in there because he's broken so many codes.
So many codes.
So many code violations.
His fucking file was like that thick.
And he's like, I'm a changed man. And he's like, I don't eat pork anymore. I don't do this. And I was like, minimal white women.
Yeah, minimal white women at night or some shit.
Minimal white women. And it was just funny. And so this is when we meet Dave Franco, a.k.a. Seth.
Mm-hmm.
So Dave Franco, he's such a cutie. I like him better than James. Sorry, James, but your brother's a cutie, even though y'all look the same. And so Dave Franco, or Seth, is now his union rep. So Bud gets into the union again, but there's stipulations. You have to have a union rep with you. If you break codes, then you're out.
Done.
And you're not going to get a chance again. So Bud hands in the older vampire's teeth, and he gets paid a lot. It was like
$10,000.
But then he had to pay his union dues, which was $5,000, and then he had
up from $2,000.
Yeah, and so it was just.
Then he had to take like 15% off the top for their commission, and then they had to do something else, and then he had a $10 joining fee
for his card.
$10 for his card.
And then what is it? They didn't get their paperwork yet, so he has 50% now.
That's what 50% now until you get the paperwork, and then you get that back. I'm like, good luck. So it went down to like
$2,500.
Jesus.
So he got $2,500, but he could get an extra $2,500. So at least like the school could have been paid for. So if he just did his paperwork right then and there,
I would have did that shit right then.
No, just like, here you go. Oh, Fifi was humping. Shot. That's like 5 shots for Fifi humping. Okay, so now Dave Franco is unhappy because he just bought an ergonomic chair and is wanting that desk job. He doesn't want to be on the field, but he's now on the field, and so he has to follow Bud everywhere he goes. And so he shows up to his storage unit, which is random that he has a storage unit. And
that's where he keeps all his like vampire killing stuff,
I guess. And he's in a suit, which is juniper green.
Or guacamole.
And he just is not prepared about what's about to happen. So they both go to this bowling alley where they're hunting the young vampires called juveniles, because they they are children, but they look more dead than alive. Mm-hmm. And so they call them zombies, juvies or something. And so Bud tells Seth to stay in the car and chill out. And he gave him a gun. And he's like, I don't believe in guns.
And he like throws it on the dash.
And so
he must be from California.
They both are.
They are in California.
Yeah,
that's right. 100%. Okay, I'm on the same page now, I think.
45 minutes in. Okay, so Bud is killing these juvies. Great. He has a bunch under his belt, but they're not worth a lot, so he has to kill a lot more. And
I wonder how much they're worth. Like 100
100,
maybe? 200?
Maybe $200.
$50? Like, how much are they worth, I wonder?
But he's fighting this one who attacked him, and then this is when Seth comes in, and he's like, yo, man, what's up? And he's like, oh, what do I do? And so he's like, give me the gun. He's like, I don't have it. Like, I left it in the truck. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? And so he's like,
give me the shotgun. No.
And he shoots the vampire, and then he shoots like behind him to kill the vampire, and he pees himself.
Well, he's pointed the gun at him, telling him, if I ask you for the shotgun, you better give me the shotgun or I'm going to kill you. And he's like, duck.
Duck.
What? Duck, you idiot. And he kills a vampire. But yeah, Seth pees himself.
Because he's not built for this type of work. Mm-mm. And so he's
a desk monkey.
And so Bud makes him ride in the back of the truck.
Let it air out. He tells him to put his leg up
to dry out.
Probably smells like fish down there.
So we go back to the pawn. This is after Audrey goes to the pawn shop and kills Troy. Yeah, Troy. I was going to say Tony. And so because she's looking for Bud, and Bud's scent is at that place. And so
she found the tooth of, I guess, the young guy?
The young one, the yellow teeth one, because he was a smoker. And so they go there and kill Troy.
Oh, wait. Or was that... No, maybe that was her daughter's. I think he I think
the daughters was more expensive. That's why he was trying to go back to the Union, because the young guys he sold. So the young.
Oh, okay. So he sold the young guys to Troy, and he took the two the daughter.
Because that's why it was
back
like 10K.
to the Union.
So he was getting a lot more there because it was only $2,000 for Troy.
Because it was almost an elder.
Almost an elder, but okay. And so he went back to the pawn shop and wait, was that? Oh no, that was when they do that. This is a little confusing now because Troy's dead. They go back to the pawn shop, and as it turns out, everybody's dead.
And they ripped out all of his teeth and spelled Bud.
Oh my God,
that's fucking rough.
I hope he was dead before.
I don't think he was.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
And so now they have to do another kill. So they go to the suburbs, and they got a tip off that there were vampires here. And then they run into these brothers. I forgot what their names were.
I can't remember their names either.
But the two big guys, they're there. Let's work together. And so Bud's like, sure, why not? First he was like, no, but then he said, yeah, sure.
Well, good thing they did.
Because as they walk in, they killed two kids that are on the couch, and everything seems quiet.
Oh, that was easy.
But then they hear something in the walls, and
scratching and shit.
It's a hive. And then this is when an onslaught.
It was like fucking 30 or 40.
They killed so many
out of everywhere.
But it's like that's easy money.
They made a lot of money.
They made a lot of money. And so this is when, what's his name? Seth tries to kill one vampire while the other guys are like badassery everywhere. I wouldn't say
he's trying to kill him. He's trying to get Bud to kill him.
The vampire is attacking him, and he has a neck brace on, so they don't bite him.
Oh, that's right. He did put a neck brace on.
Yeah, and he gives him a gun, and he's like, shoot where they're going to be, not where they're at, because they move so fast, so you have to, like, plan it out. But he can't. He's just trying to survive this one, vampire attack, and they're agile, and she's, like, bending around.
All over the place.
And I made the comment, maybe Seth should date her because she's feisty.
Date. See, well, I can't say it yet, but yeah, he should have saved her, just held her hostage,
and then dated her, and then he could be happy. But he has Heather now.
He does.
So at the end of this fight, Seth pees himself again, and so now the brothers call him Pee-Pee Pants.
Yeah, Pee-Pee Pants. And he's like trying to pound him, and the guy from Shameless just puts his hand down. He's like, no. He's like, why don't you go clean your dick off? Man.
Shoot. Okay.
Poor Seth.
This is when kind of shit is hitting the fan. Bud brings his daughter to a birthday party, but he doesn't want to go because of the situation he's in.
Well, yeah, he's in hot shit right now.
He's in hot shit, and he doesn't want to danger his family. So he brings her to the birthday party, and he gets a phone call halfway through, and it's Audrey saying, "Yo, I got your fam. Like, have a nice time at the party." She knows exactly where he is, and so this is when he drags his daughter. What was her name? Paige, away from the party, and so he buckles her up and fucking astronaut buckles. It is ridiculous. And so he puts her headphones on, and he's telling her, "Don't look up, don't do this. Daddy's gonna do some special driving." And so,
and she starts playing Mario Kart or something.
And so she's doing the same moves that he's doing through Mario Kart, where he runs into other cars or he dodges and jumps over.
Like a real life video game.
And so it was pretty funny. And so she's done, she wins, and she's like, "You need help winning." And so, light, turn left. And so
vampire. Well, she didn't say vampire.
Vehicle, car,
person.
And so. There's Fifi again, guys. Take another shot. You're gonna be wasted today.
Yeah, they're gonna be hammered.
She is just super needy.
Why is she super needy tonight?
Just because she hasn't seen you in a while. She misses your face. Just pet her. So then he gets back home, and Audrey's already at his home with
her goons.
And then Seth is dead on the floor, as we think, and. Long story short, watch it for the details. We're not going to get into the nitty gritty. What her plan is to change Paige. He's going to.
Bud's going to get basically killed by Seth because she turned him into a vampire. She's going to turn the daughter Paige into a vampire and have Paige kill the mother. And
Audrey's
she says
gonna
that she's like, well, I wish you can watch it, but you're gonna be killed by Seth, so you're gonna miss the whole action.
And so they leave. He's knocked out, and then when he wakes up, he and Seth wake up at the same time, and Seth is unaware of what's happening.
Yeah, he's like, what's going on?
What happened? And so he gets up, and maybe you should look at your teeth, bro. And so he goes in the mirror. He can see himself initially, and his fangs are. He's like, ah! And then he all of a sudden can't see himself.
He's like, that's not good.
And so he is now a vampire, and he's freaking out. He's still cool, but he's freaking out a little bit, and he smells everything, and all of a sudden he gets hungry and attacks Bud. And then this is when Bud chops off his head off. And he's like, fuck, man, you're my friend. And all of a sudden, fucking Seth comes back to life, and his arms are moving, trying to find his head to attach back on. And so he puts it back on, but it doesn't stick, so he has to hold it there. And he's having an outer monologue of, I shouldn't wear, like, I can wear turtlenecks, that'll cover it up, but turtlenecks are not like an all like year-round situation.
He's like, that's not ideal.
It was really funny. I liked Seth a lot.
And he's like, they're driving, trying to go catch his family. He's like, just don't go. I gotta hold my head on. Don't go over big bumps. Soon as he says that, he goes over a big bump. And he snaps his head. Like, ooh, and his head like pops off and comes back on.
And it like jolts forward like it got.
And it had like the kind of like it was holding on to itself. It had, what do you call that? Like
tendons.
I don't know. It's like part of his skin that was trying to go back together was like attached when it went apart. That was kind of cool.
That was. And so he's trying to figure out shit. I kind of forgot what happened right after that. And they go back to the apartment. Oh, he goes back to the apartment, his apartment
where Heather
is because she kind of sold him out. And so he fought her, and she's like, listen, this is what happened. So they kind of team up, and Seth comes in, and he's like, what's happening? I want to help. And he's like not feeling well, and so his
head falls off.
He drops, and he just needed blood. And then
he just needed blood to heal.
He healed really quickly, and he is now kind of
a Billy Badass.
And he gets changed into the black and white pullover thing that he wore. I thought that was funny. It looked good on him.
Yeah, and he like pulls it over his head when they're going into battle.
And so they're going to rescue Paige and Jocelyn. So they figured out where the tunnels work because Heather is technically the daughter of Audrey. So she was created by her. And so...
Well, not like daughter like
vampire daughter.
Yeah.
And so she knows where she is, and she's like, yeah, they're going to go there, so I'll show you where that is. And so they get to the main area, and there's a shit ton of people, and they're shooting and shooting and shooting. And then guess who pulls up?
Fucking Big Dog.
Big John.
Big Dog John comes with a Gatling gun.
Snoop Dogg. And so a Gatling gun, I had a question. It looked pretty fucking heavy. I said, how heavy is a Gatling gun? Do you know how heavy it is?
Like 500 pounds.
Do you think fucking Snoop Dogg could carry 500 pounds like that?
100 pounds.
170 pounds.
170? Holy, that's still pretty fucking heavy.
That's me.
But I think it also like wraps around like
but it's still
torso.
Fucking heavy. And he was just walking around like it was made of styrofoam.
That one, but I think that was kind of like a mini Gatling gun. Normally Gatling guns are like fucking huge.
Right.
I don't think his was, that sounds really bad. I don't think his is that big.
It was small.
It's small. He had a mini gun.
I'm telling Snoop, man.
I know, right? He's gonna show up at the door. Talk about my dick, man.
Yeah.
No, man, no.
Do you want some weed? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Fuck it.
So they get the Gatling gun, and they pretty much take out all the guys, and then they get down to the lower level, kill some more people. Snoop got bit. I don't know if that makes you instantly turn, or do you have... I don't understand that. They didn't really kind of... Because he gets bit, they're fighting, he gets bit, and then he pushes Bud forward to save his family, but he locks him out, and he does this UV bomb, which is cool as fuck.
Yeah.
And the question I have is he a vampire now? Because he pops up at the end. Spoiler alert. He pops up at the end.
Pops up out of the... They thought he was dead, but then he pops up at the end out of a sewage grate. And he just says, like, that's why I like LA because of vampires. But I thought he was going to do, like, a vampire thing.
Or, like, his eyes glow or something.
But you don't see that. So I don't know if he... Because she just bit his neck off and he covered it up. So, but I don't know. I don't know if he turned or not. I don't think he did.
I hope he did. Because then he's going to be like Seth, and it's going to be even like more badass because it's going to be harder to kill.
Yeah.
But, okay. So they rescue everybody and they kill Audrey and everybody's happy. That's like how it worked out. Everybody's happy. And then Jocelyn and Bud are going to get back together, slowly start dating again and see how it goes.
But no more lies.
No more lies. Now he doesn't have to lie, but it's watch it. You'll get more details at the end. I don't like giving too many details at the end because I'm like, you need to watch it.
Yeah, just like we don't want to like ruin the end for y'all.
But
Sue, I really liked it. I'm gonna give it a 10 for sure.
I'll give it a 9.5.
Yay! Nice.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5 because I had a question and I forgot what the question was.
What's the question?
Like at the beginning when we were talking about it, I had a question and you're like, oh, I don't know.
Oh,
anyway,
I remember.
That's
why you write it down, babe.
All right, so
you have a notepad for a
9.5 and a 10. So this was actually really good on both parts. It was interesting. It had a good plot.
Like from the very beginning, there was action. There was like car chases.
And
there was gunfights.
See,
there was funny.
This is an action movie I liked because it was funny. Yeah. It's like if it's just like action just for the sake of action.
I think you just like Seth peeing his pants.
That was hilarious. I love him so much.
We didn't say like.
He turned.
Yeah, when he turned into a vampire, like he was helping them fight at the end, and then he's like, "Yeah, I didn't piss my pants this time." And then Heather was like,
"You don't.
Vampires don't pee or poop."
he's like, "Just give me this one." Of course you can. That was really funny.
That was funny.
All right, so Fifi is just really attention-y today. She's in it. Go lay down now. She's super sad, and she looks over her shoulder like we're killing her. Sorry, folks. So we're gonna move on. They're pretty much the same length.
I don't care. Just give me one.
Okay, you get that one because I want to do the first one because these are the okay. So we are doing Unsolved Mysteries, and so I mentioned this I think last episode. We are gonna do probably more in the future of Unsolved Mysteries because there's a shit ton of Unsolved Mysteries that are just super fascinating, and these are the ones I fucking know about. So I can talk about these forever, but I probably won't. I'll try not to. And so I'm going to cite my source. I got this off of parade.com. So Parade had all these lovely stories, and these were longer. I just took snippets out to make it shorter for us so we don't have to sit here and read for 5 hours.
That's fine.
So I will start us off, and we are going to be which one. This first one actually recently got solved. So the body on Somerton Beach in 1948, December 1948, a body was found on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. The body was a man who was dressed impeccably in a suit and polished shoes, and his head was slumped against the wall. Authorities thought the cause of death was heart failure or more likely poisoning, but no trace of poison was found in the autopsy. No identification, and no one came to claim the body. So this one is more so in depth because there's a lot of puzzle pieces that I didn't put in there. Like in his suit, there was in a pocket. It had like some words in another language, and it came from a book that was found in this guy's taxi. And then this woman saw the body and she freaked out, but she said, no, I don't know who that is, even though she freaked out, which she obviously did. But more recently, it turned out this guy is I think he was from Melbourne, but his family just assumed he ran away because he was kind of sketchy like that. Like he just randomly disappeared and just never showed up again. His name was like Charles Weber, I believe. So they figured out who it was, and yeah, but that was an unsolved mystery for a very, very long time.
Okay, but what's the cause of death?
We don't know. We don't know his death. Like, he just died.
Oh, well, it's still an unsolved mystery then.
And he had like a code in his pocket too. There was like something on the back of a piece of paper, and it was like a code, and people tried to crack it, and nobody still knows what it means.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Maybe he's from, what do you call it?
Zodiac?
No. We go back in time. Like fucking...
Time travel?
Time travel. Maybe he's a time traveler. Maybe. So... We got the Zodiac Killer. In the late 1960s... Sorry, I've had one beer that's 12.2%. So
oh my God.
I might be slurring. 1960s and early 1970s, a serial killer known as the Zodiac Killer terrorized Northern California. I don't know, it was California.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it was all
Zodiac. I'm thinking of the one that was killing the women.
Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper. That's what I was thinking of. There were at least 5 victims, but later on, the murderer would claim he killed at least 37 people in total. The Zodiac Killer would write notes in code using the police to never write notes in code, causing the police to never decode it. The true identity of the killer has never been found. The one was a big case. Wait, this one was a big case, and a lot of the information on it. Too much to list out here.
That's what I wrote because it was like there was a lot of information on this. So this Zodiac Killer would kill pretty much anybody and everybody, and he had like an MO, but I can't remember exactly what it is. But there's a lot of theories out there that it was a guy who traveled around the United States who was actually there was like Texarkana, like don't go out after dusk or something. There was a movie about it where like it was kind of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy. Mm-hmm. He had the same MO as the Zodiac Killer, and so they're trying to see if that was connected because they still don't have the Texarkana killer either. So it's like a lot of connections. And then there's this other guy up in the Midwest, like in Wisconsin and Illinois, Ohio, Iowa areas. He did a lot of killings, and he was obsessed with the Zodiac Killer, and his daughter remembers him watching the TV show, and he's like, that's not how it happened, when they were talking about the Zodiac Killer. And he was screaming at the TV saying, like, that's not how it happened. That's not right. And the daughter just remembers him freaking out about the Zodiac Killer. Oh, shit. So I highly think that is that guy, but they caught him. But anyway. All right, moving on. Another favorite of mine. The strange disappearance of D.B. Cooper. On Wednesday, November 24th, 1971, a man identified as Daniel Cooper bought a $20 one-way ticket on a Northwest Airlines Flight 305 from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. How much should it cost now, you may ask? I did the math already. I had to change out the airline because Northwest Airlines no longer operate, so I did Alaska Airlines, and from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington, a one-way ticket costs $169.
Oh, nice.
So that's not too bad. That's inflation for you.
Cooper, how much was it before?
$20.
Oh, wow.
Cooper was described as being in his mid-40s, wearing a business suit, an overcoat, brown shoes, and a white shirt, and a black tie. He also carried a briefcase and a brown paper bag. After the plane was airborne, Cooper handed the flight attendant a note. At first, she just put it in her pocket without looking at it. But then Cooper told her, "Miss, you better look at that note. I have a bomb." He wanted $200,000 in $20 bills and 4 parachutes and a fuel truck to refuel the plane. Long story short, they landed, all passengers got off, and he was given the money, and the plane is refueled and back in the air. He then jumps and is never seen from again. So...
What?
Yeah, he jumped from a plane.
Why get $20,000 and fuel in the plane then?
He had parachutes. He survived. They never found him. So the money's gone.
Like he got away.
He got away.
What you're saying.
So he had 4 parachutes. And so it was just crazy because they never figured out who it was. She saw him. She knew what he looks like. They have pictures of him. And it's this guy in a baseball cap, and he has glasses on. It's crazy. And so that is why, in planes where you can't open it once it's sealed from the inside, you have to wait until somebody opens it on the outside. I think that's called a Cooper lock now because of him. Because now nobody can jump from those planes.
I've never heard that.
You work on planes. I don't know. What is, like...
I don't think that's a thing.
It is a thing.
Because most of the time, you can always open it from the inside.
Emergency style, yes.
No, you can't open it in the air from the inside because there's too much pressure.
But anyway, there was something that was created after this so that this would not happen again. So whatever it was, there's a lock or something special on it that...
Well, I mean, you have to, like on the inside, I don't know what plane this was, but the ones now, like you have to, turn it over. It has to unlock. The door lifts up and it pushes out. But I mean, there's too much pressure on there. You can't even open the door.
Okay.
Like if it's that high in the air.
I'll look this up later. I don't know.
Let's see. The case of John Benet Ramsey.
One of my favorites.
On December 26, 1996, in Boulder, Colorado, Patsy Ramsey, that's interesting, Patsy Ramsey, claimed to have discovered a ransom note for her 6-year-old daughter, John Benet Ramsey, on the back staircase inside the Ramsey home. Yeah, that's not sketch at all. The only people inside the house were John Ramsey, her father, Patsy, her mother, and her brother Burke. Oddly enough, John Benet's body was found inside the home in the utility room in the basement less than 8 hours later. The body was found by John, and duct tape was found across her mouth and a smooth cord around her neck. When police arrived, it was suspected that the crime scene was heavily compromised due to multiple people arriving at the scene. The police had also claimed that they had not searched the house after Patsy's initial call because there was no reason to believe that John Benet was in the house. Her death was ultimately ruled a homicide. The autopsy stated that John Benet's official cause of death was asphyxiation by strangulation associated with craniocerebral trauma.
Good
so
job.
Got hit in the head, I guess.
Yeah.
Today, the crime is still unsolved, and remains an open investigation with the Boulder Police Department.
So, do you remember this one when you were a kid?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so John Benet Ramsey was a little pageant girl.
Yeah, a little pageant child star.
And so there's so many theories about it. It has to be an inside job. Like, it has to be. Because there was a couple theories around it that her mom was really upset with her because John Benet didn't want to do pageants anymore, but her mom wanted to do it. And then John Benet kept on peeing the bed, and so she kept on getting really upset with her. And so out of a fit of rage, her mom accidentally hits her in the head or something. So that's a theory. Allegedly, that's a theory. And then the other alleged theory is Burke did it. And so because the contents of her stomach are pineapples and cream, I believe, and that was what Burke was eating the night before, and she apparently stole like one of his pineapples. And there was a hammer near it, or a flashlight or something, and he hit her in the head with a flashlight and killed her accidentally. So that's the theory that happened. And so,
but it says
Burke.
But it says asphyxiation by strangulation.
So he hit her in the head, and she wasn't dead, and so she was dying. There was no way to fix her, and so they think the mom
finished her off
and hit her in the basement. And so, and there's just like a lot of things like on And That's Why We Drink, they do a really good episode on this one where she talks about how when they were on the phone with the police, they were trying to keep her on there, but she was like talking on the side to people, and a little boy asked in the background, he said something, but the mom was like, look what you made it, like, look what you did. And she said that to like one of the people in the background, and you can hear it on the 911 call. And so it's like shit like that. That's like super, I don't know.
Well, it's obviously an inside job. Like no one broke in because there would have been forced entry.
So, but the thing is also they say somebody broke in the basement because the husband constantly forgot his keys, and so he would climb through the basement window to get inside. So the window was broken, and he just never fixed it.
Well, that's dumb.
Like the door, like the latch was broken or something, so he could easily get in. But you wouldn't know that unless you knew that was broken.
And then also, I'm sure there's a door that goes into the main house. I would hope, keep that locked.
Right.
So it's obviously an inside job.
It's just a lot of stuff. So that one was one of my favorite ones.
Man, that's fucked up. Killing a 6-year-old like that. That's
when I say it's my favorite one, I find it fascinating. The next one, the Black Dahlia murder. On January 15th, 1947, the remains of a 22-year-old Elizabeth Short, a.k.a. the Black Dahlia, was found on the block of 3800 South Norton Avenue in Los Angeles. The body was cut in half and so pale and drained of blood that the woman who found the body mistook it as a mannequin at first. Okay. The body was cut with surgical precision. Sorry, it's too far away, leaving no trauma to internal organs and bones. Her face was also cut from the mouth to the ears, leaving an eerie, permanent smile. There was no blood on the ground, making it believed that the body was moved after she had been murdered. Mm-hmm. No one has been caught or charged.
Damn.
So they have theories. There's one theory. There was this random police officer who was thought possibly to do it, but he's dead, so we can't like really figure it out. But the thing that leaves everybody kind of questioning it has surgical precision. Like no internal organs were fucked with. Like no.
Yeah, how do you cut someone in half without damaging internal organs?
Really, really well.
That's impossible.
I
Unless you're cutting. No, because you would still hit the intestines.
I don't know. I just know that she was cut in half and she had a permanent smile on her face, which is fucking creepy. There's pictures online too. See it.
I'm gonna see that. Maybe it was like maybe it's an alien thing.
Maybe no, probably not. But
I mean, how do you cut a body in half without damaging internal organs? That isn't.
Well, there's theories that it could have been like a sketchy dentist. It could have been like anybody, like any doctor back then is sketchy enough.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're understanding what I'm asking. How do you cut a body in half without cutting the internal organs?
I don't know. I have said that. I don't know.
That's impossible.
No, it's possible. You can just separate it from where it's like
pull them out from. Oh, okay. Let's see. Chicago Tylenol murders. Never heard of this one. On September 29th, 1982, 7 people in the Chicago area ingested poisoned Tylenol pills, consequently collapsing and dying shortly after. The victims included 12-year-old Mary Kellerman, 27-year-old Mary. Wow, that's a lot of Marys.
Hey, that's what I said.
I was like, are they all Marys? Yeah, that's 3 Marys. Mary Renner, and then 31-year-old Mary McFarland. 35-year-old Paula Prince, 27-year-old Adam Janus, and 25-year-old Stanley Janus. Okay, I guess they're brothers. And 19-year-old Teresa Janus. Okay, wow. Edmund Donahue asked Fissos to smell the bottles, and Fissos replied that they both smelled like almonds, cyanide. Mm-hmm. Oh, I said it right. Look at me. The blood tests on all the victims showed that they had taken a dose 100 to 1,000 times the lethal amount. To this day, no suspect has ever been charged or convicted of the poisonings. Wow.
That's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that story before, and it's just kind of weird because it's in how it was just one bottle in different stores, and if you're the unlucky one to buy that one bottle. That's why now they have those tamper-proof things on top of it. I just was thinking of something funny where the police are investigating it, and the police officer's like, "Man, I have a headache. Oh, there's Tylenol." Like,
and takes it.
Dude, what are you doing? Oh, right.
Shit. I just thought about my headache. My bad.
All right. This is, I have to say, probably my all-time favorite mystery.
Which is?
About to tell you.
Which is?
The disturbing death of Elisa Lam. On January 26, 2013, 21-year-old Canadian tourist Elisa Lam checked into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. When she never checked out on February 1st, nor had any contact with her parents, the Los Angeles Police Department was contacted. On February 19th, 18 days from the last time she was seen, Lam's body was found floating and naked in a water tank on the roof of the Cecil Hotel. Her body was found due to hotel guests complaining about the water's pressure. A couple even reported that the water was coming out black and had a bad taste. According to the hotel's manager, when Lam first checked in, she was staying in a hostel-style room with other travelers, but later was moved to her own private room due to complaints from her roommates about odd behavior. The last time she was seen was on a surveillance footage on the hotel's elevator. No answers as to why she died or what really happened. So this one is one of my favorites because on YouTube, you can see this. You can see her in the elevator acting fucking weird. So she pushes a button, the elevator doesn't do anything, and she like pokes her head out and she like looks around like somebody's there. And then her arms are doing like this weird thing. I'll show you later. It's so messed up. And then they don't have any other surveillance cameras. And so you just see the elevator and then she leaves. And then what happens is like, I didn't put it in here where, it was really the rooftop door was supposed to be locked. Okay, so but it wasn't, because I guess like the staff go up there to smoke or something. But what they found was when they went to the water tank, they found she had taken off her clothes, folded them, and put them, or somebody did, put the clothes next to the water tank, and she jumped in. Like she was in there floating around, naked, absolutely naked. And it's just like, there's so many theories. Like, did she just kind of have a psychotic break, or was there a murderer there and they just threw it in there?
Or was she possessed?
Was she possessed? There was just so many questions that I just find stupid fascinating. Like, I love listening about that case because I feel bad that she died. She was so young, but what the fuck happened? That I'll show you. Remind me to show you the video of that. That's crazy.
Okay. Let's. I don't even know how to say that. The Unsolved Hinterkaifeck murders.
Hinterkaifeck.
On the evening of March 31st, 1922, on I'm just going to say Hitter Farm in Bavaria, Germany, 6 residents were murdered with a pickaxe. Ow. Jesus.
Ow.
Ow. The victims included husband and wife, and Andreas and something Gruber, their widowed daughter Victoria Gabriel, Victoria's children, who has the same name as I guess the wife, Salzia and Joseph, and the family's maid Maria Baumgartner. 2-year-old Joseph was killed in his crib, Jesus, and Maria was killed in her bed, while the rest of the family was then murdered in the barn and stacked on top of each other. Upon the discovery, authorities concluded that the murderer actually lived on the farm for 6 days after they committed the crime. Wow. Despite repeated arrests, no murderer has ever been found, and the files were closed in 1955, and the house was demolished.
Yeah, that one's really crazy because what they had found out, because normally nobody questioned it because they didn't see the family very often. And so what they realized were, if the animals weren't fed, but they live on a farm, so they have a bunch of animals. All the animals were well fed, taken care of. So the person who did these murders took care of the house. Like, they did cleaning, they
took care of the animals.
Like, they shit in the pots, like what you're supposed they did back then, whatever, like the chamber pots or whatever. It was just left, like everybody.
So it must have been a family member that was fed up with their shit or something.
Maybe, but the thing is, the whole family died. All of the family died. So who could have done it? Who did it?
Who done it?
The baby.
No, the baby was killed too.
I did it to himself.
Pick-taxed themselves. I'm pretty sure they probably couldn't even pick up a pickaxe at 2 years old.
I barely pick up a pickaxe. Okay, so last one, and you actually mentioned this earlier. Do you remember what you said?
Earlier today?
Yeah, a little bit before when
don't tell me. I'm gonna get it eventually. Jack the Ripper.
Yep. And did you know why they called it Jack? I told you this before too, and I think it was on the podcast.
I don't remember.
So back in the day, you know how we call people John Doe and Jane Doe? Jack was just a generic name that they used for anything like that. So Jack of all trades, Jack the Ripper kind of thing. So they used Jack.
Why didn't they use John the Ripper?
They used Jack.
They used Jack.
In 1888, in foggy, dark streets of East End of London, better known as the Whitechapel District, lived a serial killer that would go down in history as Jack the Ripper. Even though the Whitechapel District was known for its violence and crime, the string of murders conducted by Jack the Ripper would terrorize the public like no one has seen before. He was described as a madman with no clear motive, even though the most famous murders only included 5, known as the Canonical. There's no B. Many theories suggest that he claimed the lives of up to 11 women. So first and foremost, it is very true. They've only kind of concluded that Jack the Ripper killed 5. But every time I think of Jack the Ripper, I just think it's like hundreds.
Yeah, right.
Hundreds. But there's so many theories about this because first and foremost, these were only prostitutes or what is it called? Sex workers. So they, Jack the Ripper killed sex workers only. And it was like a certain time of night. And so there's a couple things that they think it was. They thought it was like either a priest or somebody that just kind of was like, oh, I'm going to save your life, whatever kind of thing. And then the other theory I really like is actually wasn't a man at all. It was a woman. And it was supposed to be a midwife because...
Her husband...
No.
Oh.
It was just a midwife who was Jack the Ripper. They just don't know. Because there was like some evidence that there was like female evidence on something that made it known, I guess. And so it was female. And they think it might be a female. But like we'll never know because this was back in 1888.
Yep. That's definitely never going to get solved.
Unless something randomly pops up, but I highly
doubt it. It's been that long? Yeah, no. The ghost ship of Mary Celeste.
I like this one too.
On December 4th, 1872, a British-American ship called the Mary Celeste was found abandoned and floating in the Atlantic Ocean. It was found to be perfectly seaworthy and with its cargo fully intact, except for a lifeboat, which it appeared had been boarded in an orderly fashion. But why? We may never know because no one on board was ever heard from again.
So, a cruise ship, which holds hundreds of thousands of people. What year was it?
1872.
It's a cruise ship, it said, right?
It doesn't say anything about a cruise ship or
what
anything.
Is it? Mary Celeste something.
It just says the ghost ship of Mary Celeste. A British ship called the Mary Celeste was found abandoned floating in the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, but the crazy thing is, even if it was just it
had cargo on it, so it could have been a cargo ship.
Cargo and staff, like the staff alone would need more than one lifeboat. And they only used one lifeboat.
To get away. I thought it was saying it was found to be perfectly seaworthy and the cargo was fully intact, except for a lifeboat, which it appeared had been boarded in an orderly fashion.
So there's no sign of distress. It's crazy. What happened? Were they abducted by aliens?
Like that movie? Is that what that's pertaining to? The ghost ship? The movie, The Ghost Ship?
Maybe.
But like that, it was like supposed to be like, because there was people on there, but like there was ghosts on the ship, and they like basically murdered everybody. Maybe that should be a movie. But I've never seen that. But this doesn't seem like this seemed like everybody just disappeared.
I just feel like it's very Bermuda Triangle-y, because Bermuda Triangle is whack.
But isn't Bermuda Triangle like northeast of Cuba or somewhere over
so
there?
it's Bermuda, the Key West, and I think it is Cuba. Like it makes a triangle.
Yeah, that triangle right there.
Yeah. Good job, babe. You knew who that is.
Yeah, I know where the Bermuda Triangle is because I've seen a picture of it. And I've seen a legit picture where they show everything where it's supposed to be, not have a little fucking corner map that's like, oh, this is Hawaii or some shit.
How do you really feel about that?
Yeah, fuck those books and the history. It fucked me up.
Just look at a globe once. Just once.
I hate you.
Okay. Well, that was really entertaining for me. I liked that. I love Unsolved
we're going to keep
mysteries.
it going. We're going to do 10 like every month. So April's coming up. So we got another 10.
It is April today. Happy April Fool's Day.
Happy April
We're
Fool's
recording
Day.
This very early. So, yeah. Anyway, that was fun. Our next episode, I get the movie, you get the topic. So my movie, you're probably going to hate it, but I still love it. It's Dybbuk Box, a Chris Chambers story. It is found on Tubi.
Oh, isn't that about the Dybbuk Box? Why would I hate it?
I don't know. I like that movie. I've seen it like 5 or 6 times already.
Of course you would watch it again. And my topic is like worse TSA
airplane stories.
Airplane moments, like stupid moments or whatever. Because, well, I'm not going to say because I'm going to keep that for the. I actually had one in Well, I didn't do it. It was a lady that was there, but I have a story of my own that I'm going to say. Fucking stupid. This lady is. So stupid. Anyway.
People are not smart, and it hurts my brain. But anyway, so let's run through it. We hope you like us. Please rate and review. That really helps us out. We appreciate it. If you hate us, please still give us that 5-star, but then write a terrible review. That's totally fine, and we'll read it online. But we just need those 5 stars, please. And then you can also, We're Not Qualified is coming up, so you know what to do. Write us at We're Not Qualified, infothe69@gmail.com, or go to our website, infothenightpodcast.com, and just click on the contact us, and you can write us there as well, and we will get that. You can include any stories that you have, any confessions, any advice questions, the worst things that you've ever done. I don't care. So just send us something in, and it'll be fun, and we can read them online on the podcast. But what else can you find on our website, Lur?
Our merchies and Patreon.
Why do you say it weird every single time?
Because that's how it's pronounced. Sure. Patreon.
So, but other than that, we hope we gave you a reason to stay in for the night.
And until next time, peeps.
Oh, me? Peace out.